this issue of the border and the kids being separated from families, I think my camp and your camp both really sympathized with that. We really saw the injustice, and so I think that's that's definitely amazing. There's that kind of comes from that like compassionate, nurturing type of caring about other people, that makes us want to fix that problem. So
Yes.
I think that's a really great glue for people to have between each other, like to understand that like we want to take care of each other. Um,
Yes. It's a great place to start. We're starting from a place of love and compassion. Obviously, there will be differences in policy, but at least we know that at the core, we all want the same thing. We want people
so
to be treated like human beings, right?
yeah, absolutely. And I think there's it's interesting. Like, so you say you want like people just want to be treated like human beings, and it's interesting because when I see a lot of people argue over politics, it almost comes down to, okay, what does that mean to treat everyone like human beings? It means respect all of their rights. And then there's this argument over, well, XYZ is a right, but A, B, and C is not. And so there's almost this fight over, yeah, I totally agree. Everybody should have their rights respected, but they don't agree on what rights are.
Yeah.
So what do you think rights are, and where do you think rights come from?
I think rights are things that are given to you just for being alive. You have the right to live. You have the right to fight for your life as far as healthcare is concerned. You have the right to work. You're part of this society. You have the right to contribute and to your community. I just believe that rights come from you being born, being alive, God-given rights. I do think that you I understand that it can go both ways. Say, well, then I have the right to do bad things too. I feel that we all have a right to do things that allow us to coexist, to thrive, to move forward. I believe that rights are they're not earned. I believe that you have a right to housing in America. You have a right to health care. You have a right to defend yourself. These are things, especially being in America, a lot of our rights are in the Constitution, but they didn't just come from the Constitution. That's not where they were born. They were born from creation.
Right. And that's really interesting how you described that. And I actually I did a live stream this morning about the Ninth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, because everyone thinks like, oh, your rights. I mean, yes, a lot of people think the rights come from the Constitution, which I think we agree they don't. But what's interesting is like a lot of people say, oh, this is a right. And then they're like, well, where does it say that in the Constitution? And almost nobody, if I were to ask you about the Ninth Amendment, do you know what it is? It's okay if you don't.
Well, say it. Maybe I do and just
Okay.
don't know that it's a nine.
So, well, here, let me pull it up and actually read it. It's probably going to take me more time. Let me paraphrase it from memory. Even though the Bill of Rights has enumerated certain rights, it does not mean that there are not other rights that you have, which are your rights. So basically, it's saying just because we didn't list it out doesn't mean you don't have that right.
Awesome.
So it's kind of the 10th Amendment is, I think more people know about the 10th Amendment. It's kind of the same, but not, but with a different twist to it, where it says any power not given to the federal government is reserved for the state government or the people.
For the people.
So
Yeah.
okay, so you know that one.
Yeah.
So what's interesting is, and this is what I was talking about this morning, is so there are rights which are not listed in the Constitution, but the document leading up to the Constitution said all men are created equal and they have unalienable rights, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So I think that goes in line with a lot of the rights that you described: life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Those are constitutionally protected rights that the government should not infringe on. Agree?
I agree.